An aide interrupts a dinner event to inform George W. Bush about the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Every seat on every flight is still available for Sunday, and a frantic 9/11 event planner is screaming at assistants to make sure the bald eagles cry on cue. Life is a grim carnival of cruelty and death, and this is the Onion Week in Review. Promising to cover the event with dignity and restraint, the nation's cable news outlets have made it clear that they won't go overboard with their 9/11 anniversary coverage.
Obviously, we're not going to latch on to the whole 10th aspect and blow completely out of proportion or anything. That's just not what we do. It's sort of a non-story, so we'll probably just have a little 2-minute segment on it, and that'll be it.
Other programmers concurred, saying the most they could imagine airing would be footage of Obama at Ground Zero, followed by some reflections from Tom Brokaw on what that day was like. Then perhaps a nice commercial bumper or two, and a feature piece that feels a little more personal. Then they would, of course, have to work in a full interview with Rudy Giuliani, as well as some reports on the war on terror, the anthrax scare, and the mosque debate. But nothing else. President Obama earned money for the struggling U.S. economy this week by appearing in a Japanese television commercial for Glico Pretz ham and cheese snack sticks. The high-budgeted ad campaign will be seen throughout Japan and will earn the United States $300,000 plus residuals to be used for stimulus purposes.
Everyone in Japan knows the face of Obama. He will look very good eating the ham and cheese snack and dancing with the pretty girls.
Obama assured the nation that this is strictly a revenue-generating measure and will not present a conflict of interest, adding, however, that Glico Pretz have a big crunch and are perfect for snacking morning, afternoon, or night. With September 11th drawing nearer, citizens across the U.S. are realizing that they'd rather think about 9/11 than anything from the subsequent 10 years. While acknowledging that the events of that day were tragic and horrifying, Americans everywhere agreed that 9/11 was far easier to contemplate than the last decade of war, Hurricane Katrina, China's rise to power, the entirety of the political landscape, and the truther movement. With all that in mind, citizens say they find themselves longing for that day when everyone genuinely believed things couldn't get any worse. In this weekend's Onion magazine, a printing consultant shares the story of his flight from Tampa to Atlanta being canceled on 9/11. In other news, a community is devastated by the sight of an old man struggling up some steps. A stack of unused CDRs turns 5 years old, and this shitty zoo is really promoting the hell out of their new fruit bat. Your diligence and patience have been noted. Prove yourself further at theonion.com/newsbeat.